Alright. There we go. Alright. We are back. There's one last little bit of content to run through with the Sage before I start raiding with him. Well, technically I don't need to, but what the hell. I'm already working on the Sage's job quests and stuff this week, so let's go ahead and finish it all out. It's time for us to head back to Alamigo and finish up the role quests for Endwalker. The healer role quests, obviously. Stop playing Sage. And then that'll basically be everything he's got that's like Sage specific. Technically, even this isn't. This is just healer specific. But we'll go ahead and do that with him. And I also managed to get two pieces. Yeah, two pieces of like best in slot gear before we start raiding. Technically, I could get some more. Or I'd be able to get some more without the actual raiding, because a lot of the pieces I need are actually the augmented tome gear. But I'm all capped out for this week and I don't have enough for another piece. Oh, I need to spend those at some point off stream. I'll just buy more of this stuff that Buck uses for crafting and just send it to him because I don't need it. Alright, let's get going and see what Alamigo needs. Oh! Ooh, look who's back! It'll be interesting to see them again. I'll get it. Bronze at home. There's grim news to convey. Is you ready to lend us your aid? I'll apprise you of the situation. We received reports of a creature believed to be a blasphemy stalking the streets of Alamigo. Troops have been assigned to track and slay the beast, but there are likely to be casualties. With most of our healers posted elsewhere, I thought to petition you for aid. Need better soldiers, not more healers, but if I must, Jesus Christ, you could be an asshole. So again, when you're dead, we'll inform Commander Alden forthwith. My comrades at the Immortal Flames will be glad to have you watching over them. You see, as there have been no sightings of any blasphemies in our lands. We have joined our Alamigan allies in their hunt for the fiend. Trouble is, the majority of our own healers are working day and night to treat the tempered Imperials captured at Pogglethon. For that reason, we too will be glad of your help. Your presence alone will be of great comfort to the troops, I'm sure. As time is of the essence, I ask that you make your way to the Alamigan quarter. Report for duty. Commander Alden is overseeing the hunt. He will explain all upon your arrival. May Ralgos grant you strength. I do like Fabner's music. I specifically like, especially Rotzahan's music. Up and over. I always hate when we teleport back to the Alamigan quarter, because there's all these stupid alleys and buildings and stuff, and it's just like, screw it, up and over. Oh, look, another Sage running this. Mr. Left. We were told you were on your way, but this is even quicker than expected. I teleported. I'll tell Commander Alden you've arrived. One moment, please. Glad you could join us. Hey, Rabon. Kind of love coming up to a scene with, like, me and Raubon in it, and I'm playing a healer. Like, Almost every interaction Robot and I have had is like, I want to challenge the Warrior of Light, and I'm playing some sort of like melee fighter or things like that, and we're fighting each other, but now I'm just playing a healer. Now that the far greater crisis has been resolved, we may and must turn our undivided attention to the matters of a smaller but no less deadly scale. I'd like nothing more than to hear about your recent adventures, but I'm afraid such pleasantries will have to wait. Jesus. As Armand and Thavner will have told you, blasphemy is loose in Alamigo. When it first appeared, city guard were able to get most of the bystanders to safety. And for mercy, those caught in the chaos only suffered minor injuries. But the fiend managed to escape and has not been seen since. We must find it, and soon. As long as it remains at large, every man, woman, and child is at risk. Oh, I need to jot something down in my notes. Wow! All I did was Alt-Tab out and the game freaked out. Okay, back in. As was the case in Thavner, the blasphemy's very existence seems to spur the creation of lesser beasts. The longer it's allowed to roam free, the more tragedy our people will suffer. Anyone see the change take place? There were several eyewitnesses who gave the same account. A man walking through the Alamigan quarter fell to his knees all of a sudden. A moment later, transformed into the monstrosity we now pursue. Does anyone know who he is? Beyond the fact that he was a young Highlander, we know next to nothing about him. Even the descriptions of his appearance are too vague to help identify the lad. We have no clues as to his name or background. But we know he might not have even been born in Alamigo. Might have been the son of refugees come to visit. There are other possibilities we're investigating, though. That said, I doubt his circumstances are unique. Blasphemies and beasts are born when men are overcome by despair. Whatever drove him to turn likely could have done the same to another. Therefore, to prevent future tragedies, it's imperative that we identify and address the underlying cause. Until we do, we'll have no choice but to deal with the afflicted the only way we know how. By granting them a quick death. For now, I would have you join the hunt and keep my men from falling prey to these creatures. Are you up to it? I mean, I came here as a healer, so yeah. My thanks. Wait, is his... I never really thought about this before. Why is his sword, the single sword that he still uses, on the same side of his belt as the one arm he has? That has a very odd, like, sheathing and unsheathing for him to wield that with a hand on that side. It should be on the other side of his belt so he can reach across and pull the sword out. This side, it looks like he has to, like, grab it reverse style and pull it out and then just, like, flip it around in his hand. Which I guess doesn't take too long, but still. Did they, like, design it in such a way that they can't put the sword on the other side because the cloak that covers where his other arm is supposed to be would, like, clip with it and look terrible or something? It's kind of horrible. Whatever, man. As chance would have it, just received word that a number of beasts were spotted on the outskirts of Alagano. Troops stationed there have already put them down, but were wounded in the process. First and foremost, they'll need medical attention. And that's where you come in. I'll meet you there. Otherwise, you'd have to, like, turn his hand outward in a weird, awkward position, reach down and grab his sword, and then, like, pull the sword out with, like, elbow up, palm facing away from him, kind of, in order to hold it that way. But then he'd still have to spin the blade around. Like, I don't know, it just seems really poor design to have that sword on the same side as the one good arm he's got. Oh boy, this is further than I thought it was. Hi, idiots. Not interested. Leaving fate. Although the soldiers were able to lead the beasts away from the village and kill a lot of them, victory didn't come easily. It's times like these our lack of healers is most sorely felt. Dare say they've yet to receive any treatment at all. See to their wounds while I survey the area for any stragglers that may have escaped. Once I completed my patrol, head to the village to gather eyewitness reports. Look for me thereafter. Like, because it could be any healer, they didn't even bother to make it so you could just cast the spell on them. Instead, you have to go click on them, and then it, like, auto-casts yours. But that seems like it'd be even more complicated programming. Click on the soldier, and then we check the variable of what class you are, and auto-cast your basic healing spell on that class. Or the animation for it. Seems like it'd be easier to just let me cast any spell that would heal them on them. That's be good. I feel reborn. Hold on, you're Ashran, aren't you? Can't believe it, you're the one who inspired me to join the Resistance in the first place. Now you've come to save me in my hour of need. I'll never forget this. Thank you. Thank you. I saw them change. Right before my eyes. Those weren't monsters I killed, but innocent men. Well, I mean, they were also monsters, so it was that or let them kill people. To be done. There were others we had to protect. And thanks to you, I can continue to do just that. Once I've made my way back, I'll give a full account. The families, they'll understand. Crap. I'm very, like, sniffly and coughing a lot today. Someone in my family was sick yesterday, which means they were sick for days before symptoms started to show. God damn it. Please don't be sick. Ah, there you are. You still haven't turned your wheelchair into Professor X's wheelchair, dude. What are you waiting on? Come on, go machinist, deck this thing out, fly around and shoot people. It's good of you to come all this way. But I never doubted for a moment that you would. For treating the wounds of those soldiers, you have my thanks. And theirs too, no doubt. Seems they were indeed successful in slaying all the beasts. If my search is any indication, we must remain vigilant. I've also spoken with several people who witnessed the moment of transformation, but the ordeal has understandably left them rather shaken. I hear you've been through a fair few ordeals yourself, Ash. As for me, I've been kept busy with this and that, like getting the hang of this wheelchair. Obviously, it has its limitations, but it gets me where I need to go. I've been working with the new organization as well, which is what brought me here. No sooner had I arrived than the locals turned. Dragonfrid, I heard you were there when it happened. What can you tell us? The ones who underwent the change are the very people who were trying to help. Perhaps I should explain from the beginning. The meeting these held in the royal palace marked a turning point for all of Girabonia. It spurred us to open a dialogue with peoples and communities we otherwise would have shunned. But there's still so many problems to be addressed, countless souls struggling to build new lives for themselves. I decided to form a volunteer group, Silver Griffins. Our main concern is the welfare of Alamegans who sided with the Empire, for whatever reason, and helping them find their place in society. In particular, the surviving families of the Crania Lupi. You've changed your tune, that's for sure. Make no mistake, I've not forgiven them. I don't have that in me, and I doubt I ever will. But the memory of that day in the palace, of Ferdola asking to be locked up again after saving us all, it stayed with me. Got me to thinking about why she and the other youths would commit such atrocities. Why they'd swear to serve the Empire. And the answer was simple, because they'd seen what we'd seen and suffered much the same. In a hell where all were condemned, they chose to betray one brother to save another. That's how the Garleans win. Not by breaking you, but by making you break yourself. By making that choice the right one for a man at the end of his tether. Healing only begins with liberation. Some scars will never will regardless. Those who return from foreign lands may have difficulty carving out a living here, but the ones who pledged allegiance to Garlem. This is not the Alamigo we dreamed of. After 20 years of misery, let's not see it all thrown away because we can't come to terms with the past. That's why I formed the Silver Griffins, to see that no one is cast aside. It's a cause I support, and it's what brought me here today. I've been acting as a mediator. And in the short time he's been with us, he's proven himself a natural. Despite our earlier successes, the families of the Skulls continue to refuse our help. I think we see where this is leading. They're the ones who've turned, yes? Comes as no surprise. Their kin tormented and murdered fellow Alamegans. Anyone with a conscience would feel shame and guilt. And for some, it might be too much to bear. I think I might know why they're turning us away. It's a sensitive matter, though, so let's go somewhere where we won't be overheard. These damn dogs won't stop barking. It's like the moment I start my stream, suddenly everything in the house decides to start making noise. Or maybe it's just more noticeable when I'm on my stream because I pay more attention to the noises. Whatever. It's about one of the men who turned. I saw his memories. With the echo. I'll not pretend I understand it, but tell us what you learned. I only caught a glimpse, but that was enough. It was during the occupation. A man raising his son. Only the two of them, but they were a family. To keep his boy clothed and fed, he chose to side with the Empire. He knew what others would say, but he did it anyway. So he was branded a traitor. Every day his son listened to the jeering, the insults, but there was nothing he could do. When he came of age, he joined the Skulls in the hope it would make life easier for his father. He never dared to question his orders, no matter how depraved. He died in the Revolution, not before killing his own countrymen. His father wept not for the betrayer and murderer, but for the man he could have been. Blamed it all on himself right up until the change took him. Jeez. I can only pray he and his boy finally found the peace they were denied in life. The loss theirs is an all too familiar tale. They cannot forgive themselves, nor can they see how anyone else could. Sins of their kin weigh heavily on them. They think themselves undeserving of our compassion. If they carry on like that, they'll turn into beasts. We've got to help them before it's too late. Growing up half Garlean in Alamigo, I know how it feels to be shunned and hated. To hate myself. So long as we give ourselves and others a chance, we can change for the better. While I might not be as clever or eloquent as someone like Alpino, I know I can make a difference. I didn't realize Arnvald was half Garlean. I might not be quite the swordsman I used to be, but I'm still a fighter at heart. And I owe it to Abba and Auli to make the most of this life as long as I've got it. We Silver Griffins will give our all to see that no more beasts or blasphemies ravage Garabania again. So, Commander Aldin, do we have your approval to continue our work? Of course. There's no enemy more formidable than despair, and I'd be a fool to refuse your help. Even a single one of our people has succumbed to this transformation is proof of our failure to protect them. Therefore, I pledge the Silver Griffins my unconditional support. Together we'll prevail. Now that we have Ash on hand to aid the troops, I believe we're ready to face any beasts we encounter. But I fear it's only a matter of time before others appear. I ask that you lend the Silver Griffins your assistance in the meantime. Very good. For now, let's return to the city. Yeah, going with like a more simple glam that kind of works in the location you're going to fits so much better than like going with the artifact set for the class. Like, even in Shadowbringers, actually, now that I think about it, that was kind of the case. Role quests are really not super aggressive about, like, the class, and it's big, and it's epic, and you're showing off your... They're really much more, like, sort of smaller, kind of side-esque stories about locations and people and things like that. Yeah, even in Shadowbringers, going with, like, big, flashy artifacts, that wouldn't have worked. Although I don't think you could in Shadowbringers either. If I remember correctly, I don't think Grenell unlocked the artifact sets until after you finish the role quests. Yeah, honestly, it's probably better if I just take the mount and fly over the buildings here, because a single sprint isn't enough to get me back to where I need to be anyway. What are you doing? Yeah, Garlemald. Wait, you travel to Garlemald from here? Need to head to Garlemald. We're willing to take you aboard our ship. Also, that brings up the question. I don't even remember how to get back into, like, the Sorrows of Werlyt storyline area. I think it was in the locks. Let me see. Urbania. I think Porta Praetoria? And then I believe the guy who gave you the quest for that storyline, for those trials, was in that area. So I think the person you used to teleport back to that, I don't even remember the town's name. That, like, Junon-looking town from Final Fantasy VII. It's part of the Sorrows of Werlet, the weapons storyline. Right? I think he'd be in that area, too. Those who harbor guilt do so not because they are weak of heart, but because they have failed to meet the demands they make of themselves. It was the same for me when I believed that my failures had led to the Sultana's assassination. The despair and self-loathing were indescribable. I was fortunate that you and the other Scions came to my rescue, but I had friends who convinced me I was more than the sum of my worst mistakes. Now we must do the same for the people of Alamigo. We must help them to heal, find the strength to, if not forgive, then come to terms with who we were, so that we could look to what we can be, who we should aspire to be. That's precisely why the work of the Silver Griffins is so vital. Though our problems are not new, the emergence of this deadly phenomenon means we cannot afford to delay addressing them any longer. And will be better for ultimately. Once we've decided a course of action, you'll be the first to know. Till then, may Raga watch over and keep you. I need to get rid of that card. Still have a couple of old, normal pieces. Maybe I should start chucking these. Although this may be... No, I don't think that is used to get a best in slot. You need to get parts out of the Savage Raid to get best in slot pieces. Sell these. Yeah, just sell them in Kagane. And... God, I have so many silver pieces built up. I don't know why I have so many built up, though. What's been giving me these? Butcher's Blade. Prevent the emergence of beasts grows increasingly desperate. Great. I'm hoping you'd stop by. I'll show you to Commander Alden at once. Welcome sight as always, Ash. What's happened since we last spoke? The Silver Griffins have been keeping busy. As have I and my men. I'm afraid we've little to show for our efforts. Though we've been searching high and low for the blasphemy, we've seen neither hide nor hair of it. Unfortunately, everyone else has had better luck. We receive reports of lesser beasts throughout Urbania. Putting them down is as important as hunting the blasphemy that got away. To complicate matters, rumors have been circulating that these beasts were the Skull's kin. While this was true of the recent incident in Alagana, we cannot have the people jumping to conclusions, given what they might feel tempted to do. It's been suggested that we take these individuals into custody, for their own protection as much as for the safety of others. But that would only isolate them even further and give credence to the rumors. Recent unrest has hindered the efforts of the Silver Griffins to no end. Therefore I ask that you aid them in their endeavors. See if there's aught that can be done. Also, you'll be joined by another volunteer. Try not to be too surprised. Thought I felt my ears burning. I figured it'd be you. Especially since you were in all the pictures for all the quests. I said I don't need a keeper. Did they bloody listen? Did they bollocks? Come on, don't be like that. This is what you agreed to. Besides, you never know when you might have need of a healer. He's done better than Ash.
There's none better at basically any role in the storyline, at least, than me.
He's right. You've earned a measure of trust, and this shouldn't be taken to mean otherwise. Thick as thieves are we now? And there's no need for this sodding collar, aye? We all know it's not coming off anytime soon. But if this is how it's to be, then fine. So long as he keeps out of my way. I want the two of you to visit the Silver Griffin's headquarters in Alagano. Several relatives of the Crania Lupe have agreed to meet with them, and we could do with a measure of precaution. Anyone so much as mentions the skulls, I'll deal with it. Understood?
It'll be interesting seeing the relatives of the skulls, considering that she's the one who basically killed her entire squad. So some of them are probably relatives of her squad.
Let's get this over with. She's as much at risk of turning as anyone. Maybe even more so. You don't need the echo to see the weight she's carrying. She's still not got a handle on her own echo either. Sometimes the visions come without warning with such force that it's all she could do to stay standing. No telling what might happen when she comes face to face with the family of her former comrades. So look out for her, please. Wish there were more I could do for her myself. Well, we've all got our own duties, and I'll see them through to the end. So must we all. Follow Fodola's lead. We're counting on you both. But be ready to step in even if she curses you for it. Definitely feeling a little off today. God, I hope I didn't catch the cold. Or worse. I had a feeling Ramban would send you, Ashran, but as for her, if you've got any complaints, take it up with the commander. Oh, no, it's fine. Truth be told, ever since that day at the Royal Palace, I've been thinking. Stop. You don't want to say it, and I don't want to hear it. The matter at hand, then. These Silver Griffins have been working to support the relatives of the Crania Lupi. But one family has gone missing. A mother and her parents who lived together under the same roof. One of ours paid them a visit, but they were nowhere to be seen. When they went inside to check, they found the house had been torn to shreds. Thick gouges in the floor and walls, made by beast claws by the look of them. You think they've turned? Aye, that's the most likely explanation. Please do what you must before anyone else is hurt. There's no time to waste. I'll head west, you east. I don't know how aggressive she is about, like, I don't need a babysitter and splitting us up and all this sort of stuff, when it's like, you're a tank, I'm a healer. By the very nature of what we are, we do a lot better together. And it's not just me looking over your shoulder or thinking you can't handle this on your own or any bullshit like that. You're a tank, I'm a healer. Together we can handle basically anything. Still using my Omega mount. It was a pain in the ass to do that Savage even unsynced to get it, so why not? That looks like a Malja turned into an abomination. Phlegma to the face.
Crumpled letter. I'm sure it isn't. It's probably members of the family, but still, that looked like an emulsia abomination. White envelope contained a crumpled, tear-stained letter. Someone finds you while time is short. Just keep this brief. Oh, I've never done anything to make you proud. I promise you things will be different when the war is over. Go and take care and know that I love you with all my heart. Man. Thank you, notes envelope. You turn your attention to finding the others. So that was probably Mom. Now where are Grandma and Grandpa? Yeah. My nose is stuffy. There's a scratch in the back of my throat. Hopefully this is just my usual garbage. I'm not sick. I refuse to acknowledge being sick until I know for sure. Also, I didn't get great sleep today and I'm kind of tired. Well, not really tired, like I need to sleep, but just kind of like yawning a lot, and I didn't have much of a breakfast or anything yet, so let's save this last one. Because you gotta end every fight by boom! Flick my ball to the face. Time-worn wedding ring, huh? Wedding ring with a name and date engraved on the inside. Some no more clues we found inside her book, Dragonfrid. So that was two. That was Mom and one of the grandparents. Odds are Flagola found the other one. The game decides to send me out to cover her with the fight with the other one, though. That's gonna be a little weird because, okay, good, she handled it fine. Fordola's capable. She could fight one abomination on her own easy. You able to find anything? And it is as we feared. I found and killed the third, who was carrying this. Matching ring. Deliver these effects to their next of kin and arrange for a funeral. Or as close to one as possible under the circumstances. There's no changing the past. We'll always carry it and the scars. But no matter who we were or what we did, while Omegans, then and now. The Empire was our enemy then, and now it's despair. Good words and deeds will serve us best in this fight. Weapons even an old man like me can yet wield. Thanks to the two of you, the missing villagers may finally be laid to rest. I and the other Silver Griffins will redouble our efforts to prevent any further tragedies. Finish checking the west, sir. Everything's in order. Good work. Take a rest, lad. You've more than earned it. Keep this to yourselves, but Everett's younger brother was a member of the Cranial Lupi. He's exactly the sort of person we're trying to help. Like many of the others, he was reluctant to talk to us at first. But after we gained his trust, we were able to help him find work. He's taken to it well. Yeah, he recognizes Fordola, obviously. It's, the butcher! And he transforms. Traitors, all of us, kidslayers deserving of hate and death. Hate and death. Bro, come on. Ow. Yeah, she can't really control her echo. Get back! Get back! Oh boy. Dola have to be the one who runs in and shields the girl with her body when I was standing closer to the guy and I'm a sage? Like, every part of that is just... Every aspect of them not knowing exactly what job you're going to be playing at any given point in time, and so you never do anything in cutscenes is like, whatever. Stay away from her. Yeah. Dola saved your girl's life. No, but she's... Mm-hmm. Happened in an instant, that poor lad. Had to be done, without hesitation. Would have been much worse otherwise. Should go after Fordola and see to her wounds. Do what I can here. I have no interest in talking to that woman. She's an idiot. I'm leaving. Like, apparently they have something to say. I have no interest in hearing it. I'm fine. Leave me be. I said I don't need your help. I'm a healer. Let me do my damn job. You're like a dog with a bone. Go on then and make it quick. It's like, shut up, Fordola. I was brought here to heal people. Shut up and let me heal you. Quill can't change its spots. There's no washing the blood off my hands. Nor would I, even if I could. Taking up Garlean's steel was the first choice, but not the last. Like the first kill, the hardest. Every choice after that came easier and easier, till I stopped counting. Stopped caring. Tell yourself it's right. It's for the greater good. You give the order, feel the ground tremble as the cannon fires. And then when the dust settles, you and your own men are buried beneath the rubble. You tell yourself, me too. So what? Like, I've been working alongside people who've done a lot of heinous shit during the course of this story. The past sucks for all of us, so, you know. Man in the village I saw his past. I'm the one who killed his brother. I'll be alright. Just need a moment. Can you wait with me? Everything the skulls fought for, the sacrifices we made, the things we did, in the end it was all for nothing. Sometimes I look back on the road I walked and the bitterness I can still taste, and I wonder, if I'd grown up in another time, another place, would I have done the same to different people? Was it always in me to be me? Hardly. People are so much more the product of their environment than anyone gives that credit for. All I know is everyone would have been better off if I'd never been born. Really? Even your parents? I mean, I know they suffered, and I know they died, but they had a kid. That didn't make their lives worse. And it was. I dragged others into a hell of my own making.
remember these two brothers in particular, childhood friends of mine. The older one enlisted with me, but the younger...
So they went to war with each other. Oh no, guess not. I figured the younger one would have joined the rebellion or something.
And besides, the people in that meeting, back when Lee's was trying to get everyone together, probably wouldn't have been better off if you'd never been born. Because me and Arnvald, like, barely had that. Alright, if you weren't there, we wouldn't have been able to finish it. I mean, for storyline reasons, not for mechanic reasons, but still. It never made his soldier. He's too kind. Too good. Ansford died at Specula Imperatoris, but his brother's still out there somewhere. Not that I've got the courage to face him after what I did. Hope he's found the life he deserves.
He probably turned into a abomination, just so you know. Like, to make this even darker and more painful for you, blah 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 storyline before we get to the end.
And all of the craniolupi at the towers died that day. Though, I know from one of my visions that at least one survived. Rudolph. Glad he made it out. But too many others didn't. Too many others still need our help. Help make this blasphemy, and by Ralga, I'll kill the bastard if it's the last thing I do. Anyway, that's enough out of me. Be heading back to the city to make my report. I suggest you do likewise.
I wonder if Rudolph is going to end up being the blasphemy. This is a little early on in the storyline for it to be that simple, like Rudolph is the blasphemy. We didn't introduce the other Pajal who was the blasphemy until maybe one or two more quests past this in the Gridania storyline. Though there's nothing that says they have to all be exactly the same, but still, I'd expect us not to find the identity of the person until another quest or two.
Welcome back. Fadola's already given her account. I'd like to hear yours too. So she almost turned into a beast herself. I'll have to take that into consideration before sending her into the field again. As far as the events in Alagana are concerned, the two of you did well. Despite the appearance of several beasts, you were able to prevent any further casualties. However, this serves to confirm that those with connections to the craniolupi should be considered at risk of turning. Over the years, many of them have drifted away from the larger settlements and have taken to living in secret. Others made their way to Uldar as refugees, including some individuals of interest. As such, we'll be working closely with the Immortal Flames to locate and offer support to those refugees in particular. In fact, I plan to make the journey there for an audience with the Sultana. Once my preparations are complete, perhaps you might accompany me. I'm sure she'll be glad to see you. New battleground. Time to head to Uldar. Here to see Commander Alden, I take it. This way, please. A request for an audience with the Sultana has been accepted. Before we depart, I'll share what we've learned since last we spoke. Blasphemy continues to elude us, all the while driving others to succumb to despair and turn. Even with our Amigan and Uldan forces searching for signs of the beast and more potential victims, we've yet to discern a pattern in the chaos. Nevertheless, if our blasphemy is like others, its behavior is likely dictated by the passions and regrets of the man it once was. Therefore, any information concerning him and the life he led may help us to track down before it strikes again. I don't want people to shun the families of the skulls, any more than they already are. But the fact remains the vast majority of the beasts have been born of them. They're the ones who are at greatest risk of turning without question. Fadola concerns me too. She came close to transforming once before,
So I think it might be best if we keep her out of this after all. Don't do that. She deserves this opportunity. She's at risk, sure, but she's strong. And just, you know, partner me up with her.
I'm inclined to agree with Ash. She was able to resist the transformation and has shown no signs of succumbing since then. If she wants to do her part, I say we let her. I could go in her stead. Actually, I was hoping you'd come with us to meet the Sultana. I believe she'd benefit greatly from your understanding the struggles of our people face. You'd gain from the experience, too. While she's not the sort to brandish a sword and charge into battle, you'll soon discover she's a champion of her own arena. As brave as any warrior.
Yeah, just because you can't wield a blade doesn't mean you can't fight.
She'd have much to learn from the likes of me, but it would be an honor to make her acquaintance.
Besides, why doesn't he take up something else? If he really aggressively still wants to fight, there are at least a few classes I know of that could work with a wheelchair. Sage being one of them. You could absolutely still be a sage in a wheelchair. I mean, you wouldn't fight as well. You may not want to go into, like, trials and dungeons and shit, but at least you could walk around the battlefield and, like, heal people. Same with pretty much any other healer. He was a melee fighter. There isn't really any of those that would work well in a wheelchair, though. Machinist actually might. He could turn to physical ranged. Bard, the bow would probably be a little too big. Dancer, probably not. For obvious reasons.
Gold and I will go on ahead and wait for you in the hustings strip. We'll see you anon.
Let me take a look at this. If Arnvald really desperately wants to fight again, but he can't go back to being a gladiator, then let's see what he could be. No. Pretty much none of the tanks, which is unfortunate because that's what he was, so it'd take a little getting used to a new class. Absolutely not. No jumping. Probably not. Nope. Undoubtedly not. Unless he got real good at summoning his Void Scent companion and just had it fight for him. Yep. All the healers are up for grabs. Bow's pretty big, but maybe, definitely not. Yeah, why doesn't he become a black mage? They just stand in one position anyway, and just tank all of the attacks because they're too busy doing ley lines. Summoner? Yeah, sure. Red mage, not so much. You do a lot of jumping around as red mage. But I mean, there's a couple magical DPSs and all the healers and a couple of physical range DPSs he could be if he really wants to fight. I mean, he's not going to be that great at it since he's stuck in a wheelchair and can't hardly move, but it's possible. Still here, still dancing. Good to know the world is still right. Hey, Papa Sean. I have my sight for a moment. Oh god, has she gone off on her own little adventure again? Wow, me and this girl are moving at basically the same pace with these quests. So I've been back here since I discharged myself from the infirmary. Without telling anybody, mind. Just remember to stop by and offer my thanks and an apology. He just walked out. He just rolled out of the infirmary without telling anyone he was leaving.
Master Papachon was just telling us that Nanamo, or should I say Lady Lura,
probably not so loud and out in public,
has gone on another of her jaunts about the city.
It's not my place to question her grace's judgment. I do wish she had consulted me before running off on her own. Perhaps I'm overthinking it, but it's unlike her to keep her guests waiting. I may say so, sir. With blasphemies appearing throughout the land, it's a dangerous time to be going for a stroll.
I suspect that may be the very reason. She wishes to see for herself how the citizenry fare in these trying times. Even so, it's downright reckless. We'll find her, though.
No, I couldn't possibly allow such esteemed guests to...
Come now. We might be unofficial business, but we're old friends. As you may remember, I have a knack for tracking down errant sultanas.
Some might say that knack is a rather charitable. I should be glad of the assistance. I'll take a look around here. Quizzing the locals will give me an opportunity to learn of recent goings-on in Old Law too.
Well then, there's no time like the present. Fear not, with me on the case, this will be over before you know it.
Sapphire Avenue Exchange? Why'd he go to the market suddenly? If she really wanted to see how the citizenry were doing, like specifically because she was worried about people turning into abominations, then wouldn't she go to the refugee camp outside? I mean, that's where she'd actually be able to see it. Oh yeah, Little Ladies Day is going. It's only going to be going for like 2 weeks. I need to put aside a day to run Little Ladies Day at some point. Everything's so, like, set in stone, though. If I'm going to be raiding on Saturdays and Sundays, and I'm still working on the role quests, I'll push back the role quests a week, because I'm not in a huge rush for them. So maybe next week. Yeah, maybe next week. That'll give me the chance on Tuesday I can run Little Ladies Day and maybe some reset stuff in case Little Ladies Day only takes like 30 minutes to finish. And then on Thursday I'll have a chance to like go back and actually put some more time into Final Fantasy VII Remake, since I'm not going to be doing all the role quest and job quest stuff that week anyway. And get a little further in that game without interfering with raids. Though I suppose I could still start on Saturday and Sunday at like the time I normally would, like 1 p.m. And for a couple of hours I'd be able to do something, and then around 3 when raid time starts I could just raid with them for the next like 3 hours. Do like 5-hour streams on Saturday and Sunday. It might be possible. I'll have to see how it works out with my schedule.
It's been some time since I last combed these streets for young Lilira. As a matter of fact, Papachon and I would compete to see which of us could find her first. As I recall, most of the contests ended in my favor. Trick, you see, is to look past the disguise and pay attention to the gestures and mannerisms. Tiniest movement that might give her away. Come, I'll show you how it's done.
Follow his lead and try not to fall behind.
Follow my lead.
Look, I think it's her. Look past the chocobo head. That's definitely her.
She's fond of perusing the stalls here.
Still, it doesn't make sense. If she's worried about her people and wanting to make sure they're getting on well with the transformations and everything that they're at risk of, why would she come down to the market to just browse the stalls and shop? That's not what she would do, I don't think. Like, if we find her here, that seems like it'd be weird.
If she's not here, where could she be? What if she's been abducted?
Probably not, buddy.
In one of these pots? Perhaps not.
Dude, seriously? I just don't think storyline-wise she would be here. I think she would be out in the little shanty town you guys have outside.
I've known her to be this elusive. That's odd. I've tried all her usual haunts, so unless she's hiding inside a barrel or something equally nonsensical, she must be elsewhere. So why does she choose now of all times to run off? What if she's been abducted or run afoul of a beast?
Don't need to assume the worst, dude.
You're right, I know. It's hard not to worry. Where could she be? Come to think of it, something Papa Sean said caught my ear. He thought Nanimo went on this excursion because of the emergence of the blasphemy and the beasts. To better understand how her people are coping with the situation. If so, she'd be driven to seek out the most desperate and destitute. Pearl Lane, then.
Wait, you think she's hiding? She's in the back alleys with all, like, the homeless people and the drug dealers and shit? I think she's outside. I'll probably be wrong, but that's the game being stupid, not me. She should be outside in the horrible shantytown talking to the Alamegan refugees out there who are most at risk.
I'd ask you to lead the way. I'll admit my ability to track missing persons may have dulled somewhat. Lane has ever been plagued by pickpockets and the like. I'll watch your back, so go ahead and give the search for Lilleray your full attention.
Escort? Yep, back into the crappy back alleys.
Fools! Your party of heroes can't stop me!
Welcome, Raiders! Hey, Laurel.
Spoiler? It's you, baby.
Nice to see some of the new static members hanging out. Also, let's do oh, hi there. Hola. That's right. If you're not already, and I'm actually not already. Nice to find new streamers I'm not already following. Now that we're in the static together. Kitty suggested you and said you were chill. I am. Kitty, wait, hold on. Hold on. 2 minutes. Hold on, wait, hold on. She said, hold on. Kitty will get tired eventually. Okay. I'm sometimes chill. And then Kiritsu throws everything in the kitchen sink at me. Otherwise, I'm mostly chill. The vast majority of us was true. Yeah. I think most of us are true. Oh, no. Some of them may just be friends of Linvala as well, but not actually, like, streamers. I don't know. But, I'm actually kind of getting things ready for the raiding this weekend, is what you're catching me doing. On Tuesday, I finished the Sage's job quest line, and I absolutely did not play Sage for a year without realizing that Panheima was quest locked behind the Sage's quest line. That definitely did not happen. So, you know, that's good. And now I'm doing the Endwalker's healer role quests. Chalupa has emotes but doesn't actually Chalupa has emotes but doesn't stream. Oh, God. I am somewhat lucky in the fact that not realizing Panheima was quest locked wouldn't have mattered too much, since we're going in with a double shield healer setup. Panheima is like a shield thing, and I'm probably not going to be doing much with the shields. Panheima is huge in general, but with a double shield healer setup, I think the Scholar is going to be handling shields for the most part. I know it'd be useful, but it would also overwrite the scholar's shields, and I'm not sure if I really should be doing that. I know it could be useful with big, like, multi-hit attacks. I don't know how she did it, but they are cute as fuck, though. It also has a heal afterwards. Yeah, I know, I'm just worried. Since I haven't done Savage Raiding, and certainly not with a double shield healer setup, I'm just worried about, like, what of my skills creates shields, and should I be overriding the Scholar's shields at all at any point? Because I was worried about that with Pepsis as well. Pepsis can be a big burst heal, but first I'd have to overwrite the Scholar's shields to do it. Yeah, double shield Y, though. Because that's just the way it is. Because Sage is the only healer class I have that's, like, geared up for, like, best in slot stuff and ready for Savage Raiding. And the other healer is... Well, no, one of the other healers, I think, is a Scholar. I think one of the healers for one of our days is... I don't remember. Were they going White Mage or Astro? I think they might have been going a pure healer because I was a shield healer. So actually having Panheim on at least one of the days might be useful. But I do believe we have a Sage Scholar set up on at least one of the 2 days. Anyway. This sounds like a mess. I'm a healer for my first ever Savage Raiding experience. This is going to be a mess, Kiritsu. Also, what have you been up to lately? Monster Madness and Wild Hearts. Ooh. Nice model. You're just bombarding the shit out of monsters and Wild Hearts. I haven't had a chance to play that game at all. I heard it's like Monster Hunter, but real fast. Like, you move around like crazy in that game, as opposed to just being super slow always like you are in Monster Hunter. Although, at least with the bow, it seems like... Oh, you're doing P7S tomorrow night? Oof, good luck with that one. I'm just starting up on P5S, and even that's like... Cut off the best part. Oops. You're gonna have to go back in and, like, re-clip it yourself or whatever. That's usually what I do to try and get the clips to actually be what I want them to be. Is instead of, like, just hitting clip that while I'm streaming, I add stream markers, and then I just go back in. I'll allow that, that's fine. First night we did it, we got to 43%, so pretty good prog on it. Anyway, I'll add, like, stream markers and then just go back through my... That was a manual clip? Oh, God. Yeah, I go back through my videos after streams to, like, all the markers that I've added and then just clip things I need to. You didn't realize it was the time limit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that 1 minute time limit that it goes through. Ugh. That's about Pearling. Yeah, why are we in the homeless drug dealer part of the city, bro? Did I not thinking about it? Well, it may not be immediately obvious. Conditions here have improved considerably of late. But Grace continues to support the rebuilding efforts in Girabonia, which has led to the creation of jobs for many of the locals, both here and on the other side of Belsar's Wall. Good to know that the city isn't just being left to fucking garbage and all of the refugees treated like shit anymore. Maybe that's why we're in here, because more of the refugees are, like, inside the city walls now. Every society there are the haves and the have-nots. Seldom is this divide more sorely felt than here in Uldar. Many of the young and able-bodied work for Lolorito as guards, though he earns more in an afternoon than most will in a lifetime. It really sucks when they have to, they're so desperate that they have to end up working for the guy who's, like, most aggressively pushes against the refugee support, just so they can make a buck. Although I suppose he's not so aggressively going against it these days, but that's because Nanamo is understanding the bullshit of the politics better these days and able to, like, make it valuable to Lolorito to, like, support the Alamegans. Lady Lilura.
Alban, whatever are you doing here? And Ashran, too? Well, I'm glad to see you both. Our meeting is not yet due to commence for several bells. What is the meaning of this?
We were worried, with good reason. These are far too dangerous times to be roaming about alone, Your Grace. Could you not call her Your Grace so loudly, too? Like, he sticks to the Lady Lilura so poorly in public that I'm amazed the whole city doesn't know.
Some things never change. But I assure you, I'm quite capable of looking after myself in my own city of all places. More importantly, I wish to observe firsthand how the people have been faring of late, that I might be better prepared to participate in our discussion later. But I have finished, you will be comforted to hear.
Pray allow us to escort you to more amenable surroundings. Would you care to ride on my shoulder?
Certainly not. You've already attracted more than enough attention.
Yeah. He doesn't need to be picking up a noble lady who's definitely not the Sultana and putting her on his shoulder either. Like, you've drawn so much fucking attention to us, Raubon. I don't know how you've managed to get away with this shit so far. Ooh, yeah, I need to go do Blue Mage stuff too at some point. Maybe I'll screw around with the Masked Carnival. If I decide to put, like, Little Ladies Day on Tuesday, and it really does turn out to only take, like, 20 or 30 minutes to finish, then maybe I'll mess around with the Masked Carnival instead of reset stuff. Had every faith you and the commander would find her.
I have a feeling the search would have taken rather longer if Raubon had been left to his own devices.
Probably. Oh, man. Yeah, my throat is getting scratchier and scratchier. I really hope I did not come down with the same cold that my dad had earlier. Or yesterday, or whatever, you know, that he has.
Thank you all for making the journey here during these difficult times. It's my pleasure to properly make your acquaintance. On behalf of the people of Eorzea, allow me to express my sincerest gratitude for your continued dedication to our cause.
With respect, Your Grace, I'm just a soldier. Was a soldier.
Still, I say, Commander Raldin would not make such a distinction, and neither will I. You yet serve your people, and have provided solace to many of Alamigo's most vulnerable. If we're to deal with this threat, we must forearm ourselves with knowledge. I understand you come bearing information regarding the blasphemy and its victims.
We have indeed.
Hence the need to locate families of Chronia Lupi members who have fled to Thanalan. There's no end to the struggles faced by Alamegan refugees, and those who once pledged allegiance to the Empire are no exception. Rest assured that irrespective of their pasts, all will be treated with an even hand. All will be afforded such aid as I am able to provide.
Magnanimous as always, Your Grace. She tries.
Might be so bold, I have a question. What do you have in mind for those most at risk of undergoing the change? I believe there's but one recourse. Earnest and open dialogue.
This is why I love Nanamo.
While some are born into unimaginable wealth, others suffer great hardship and oppression.
The circumstances of our birth are beyond our control. Our fates subject to the whims of the gods, some would argue. I once thought myself a prisoner to my fate, a figurehead, helpless to watch on as my people starved, a powerless puppet. I wanted nothing more than to cast it all aside, to free us all, but failed for my naivety. And then was afforded a second chance for my privilege. The world is unfair, terribly so, but we have the power to push back against inequalities and injustices, if not overcome them on blessed occasions. To love our neighbor and share in life's bounties, to open our hearts and come together as one.
Truer words were never spoken.
Without the support of the people, such words are not but vain platitudes. Thankfully, my recent attempts to make inroads with the monetarists have met with some success. Despite differing views on many subjects, we yet strive to find common ground.
Ground. We've been pouring all our efforts into aiding families of the cranial lupi. Well, it seemed to help to a degree, with some have still succumbed and turned. Of course, they're not the only ones in danger. Alamegans everywhere, whether they sided with the Empire, fought for the Resistance, or were caught in the middle, they all suffered. They all wake up in the night at times, haunted by memories of death and despair. We know what can happen if those feelings are left to fester.
The legacy of the Imperial occupation will not soon be forgotten. But rather than seek to forget, mayhap it is necessary to remember, to acknowledge and accept the truth of it, that they may properly mourn those they have lost.
Aye, a remembrance. Suppose we hold a memorial ceremony for those who died during the war. Everyone, no matter who they were or what they did. Let them be loved. Let them be hated. But above all, let them be remembered. In the remembering of the dead, in their honor and their sin, we, the living of Alamigo, may yet find a sliver of common ground. It's a noble sentiment, but bringing together the people who have reason to distrust one another and risk inflaming tensions could be a recipe for disaster. And again, we can't keep ignoring the married in the room and do nothing to address the situation. As long as we leave it to the individuals to decide whether or not to attend the ceremony, I think it's worth a try. Organizing an event of this scale will require a great deal of effort, so I offer my full support. Once you know what's needed, come to me, and we'll put the plan into action. Obviously, some will balk at the idea, which is perfectly understandable, so I'll be listening to their opinions as well. After all, we want it to be a ceremony that brings Alamegans together.
Wow, what are the odds that you keep getting confetti over and over again with throw while they're talking about a celebration? Like, throw's supposed to be pretty much everything. Maybe I should check that and make sure I didn't just reduce it to confetti at some point. Nut.
And I was wondering, Your Grace, I might ask about your approach to, well, talking to people. Winning them over. You can tell I'm no politician, so I'd be grateful for any advice you can share with me.
I would be delighted to. As a matter of fact, I have a number of matters I wish to discuss with you.
And on that note, I suggest you and I return to Alamigo.
Yes. I love hanging out with Nanamo, especially when we're going on adventures in the sewers together. But, I'm good. I'm not interested in just hanging out with them and talking politics and nonsense like that forever. Thank God for, Raubon. He's like, I have no interest in this subject. Why don't you come back to Alamigo with me? Yep. Thank you, Raubon. Oops. Crap. See lip flaps and no noise. Yep, you see lip flaps and no noise. That damn mic button. I have to hit it, especially now when I think I may be coming down with a cold. I'm like coughing and clearing my throat and all that even more often than I usually do. But then I forget to do it again. So we have a 5-second delay on the Japanese tape. We shall fight to the ends of the earth, and I will destroy you with all of my power. That one, you mean? It's just mouth moving, totally not saying what it's saying. The terrible, terrible Japanese dubbing. Uh-huh.
There you are, Ashra. Commander Alden has asked me to convey to you the following information. At present, we're looking into reports of missing relatives of the Crania Lupi. With the cooperation of the Silver Griffins, we're currently searching for any clues as to their whereabouts. Thanks to the concerted efforts of Rag and Frid and the others, the general public has been willing to cooperate with our investigation. Though many still harbor feelings of distrust for the collaborators in their ken, they've grown more receptive to our cause on the whole. Arnvald's been making steady progress in preparing for the memorial ceremony. He plans to host a meeting between the various community leaders to go over the finer details. In fact, he was wondering whether you could assist in delivering the invitations. If you can spare the time, you should be able to find him in the Mercantile District.
Oh, this is gearing up to be a very interesting storyline. You guys probably didn't hear because I was muted, but I was musing about the idea that the final fight will take place at this big, like, remembrance ceremony, with the blasphemy breaking in and, like, trying to convert people or kill them or whatever. And if the 88 quest is, hey, go deliver invitations, then I think the 90 quest really is going to be the ceremony itself for the final fight. This is gearing up to be a very interesting ending.
And that's all for now. I have a few other matters to attend to, so if you'll excuse me, duty calls.
Okay. Speak with Arnvald. Where is he? Over here somewhere, but I'm not even gonna bother, like, trying to sprint through these fucking alleys. This city is a nightmare to navigate on foot. Unlock flying as fast as you can in this area and never go back.
Thanks for coming. It should come as no surprise that planning a memorial ceremony for a whole bloody nation keep a man busy. But by Rauga, this is something else. Artist Part's been gathering information on those who died in the war, especially when it comes to the skulls and other conscripts. And they're the ones we need to treat most carefully. If we don't acknowledge the crimes of our kin and all their painful truth, then we do a disservice to their victims, living and dead. But if we let people paint them as monsters who did monstrous things we believe we would never do, then we perpetuate a different but no less dangerous lie. As for preparing the event itself, I'll be holding a meeting with the members of each of the settlements around Girabandia. I sent invitations to most of them already, but I was hoping you'd help me with the last two. There's Miraz Noon and the Peering Stones. Oh, he's actually sending an invitation to the M clan. That's interesting. And Sarisha and Viranilia. And the Ananta? I'm pretty sure Sarisha's part of the Ananta. So he's sending me out to send an invitation to the Mikote clan and the Beast tribe nearby. Give you one for each. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they refused. considering how their people suffered at the hands of the skulls. But I hope we can remind them that deep down we're all just people trying to survive, to protect our loved ones. We may have driven the Empire from our lands, but as long as we hold fast to the grudges born of their attempts to divide and set us against one another, we'll never be free of their legacy of cruelty. With that in mind, I've included an account of my experiences with the Silver Griffins and the people I've met. Victims, collaborators, their friends and their family, men and women who lived through it all. Survivors. Even if they refuse to join the ceremony, at least they'll know, and hopefully understand, our reasons for holding the event. Oop, another ad break. Granted, I've not had much practice in writing important letters, but I think they'll get the message. You being the one to deliver them will make a world of difference, I'm sure. Take care, won't you? Okay. That's fine. I need to head out here anyway, so... I think we're both in the fringes, so being able to teleport to the Peering Stones will be fine. Because that'll let me deliver this one, and then I should be able to just fly out to where they are. Yeah, they're both here. Okay, ad should be over now. I still can't help but remember the little quest I went on here. I think it was this person? Or this one of these people over here. Sending me off to fight and capture creatures out in the wild for them. Which makes perfect sense, but she sent me out with like 3 little bags. So she sent me out to beat up these gigantic, like, elephant-sized creatures out in the wild and then cram them in a tiny bag somehow. Like, and the game made no attempts to try and, like, make any sense of that. It's like, beat them up and then use the bag on them to capture them, and it's like, this is a bag I could hold in my hands. These creatures are 5 times as big as me. Like, what am I doing here? Greetings, friend. It's been too long since last we spoke. What brings you to my village? So the rumors are true. I need not read this letter in full to know its contents. I understand that FFXIV's volunteers are working to support the families of those lost in the war, which few will deny is a worthy cause, to include the relatives of the Chronia Lupi. If you can't bury the old grudges, then nothing will ever be fixed, Mraz. Nothing. It's just rehashing the past for old grudges and old blood debts forever until everyone kills everyone. Skulls watched the Empire slay us in our thousands, and still they turned their cloaks and fought for our oppressors. You would ask us to mourn the deaths of these curs alongside their victims. Yes. Arnvald only wants you to read the letter before saying yes or no. To dismiss it out of hand would be discourteous. Very well. You know, maybe I ought to turn that, that toggle mute button that I have into, like, a push to a hold to mute thing. So that there's no chance of me accidentally leaving it on mute. That way I'd be forced to press the button whenever I need to, like, cough or clear my throat or whatever. And then as soon as I let out my finger, it'll go back. But that means I have to hold it down longer, which, along with, like, talking on stream and focusing on chat and maybe talking to people on Discord, is a lot of buttons for me to be holding down while also trying to, like, play the game. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. As known, my tribe is my family. And all too well the responsibility that brings. I'd do anything to protect them. Anything. Loyalty, pride, conscience, my very soul. All are meaningless if I can't ensure the safety of those I love. I suspected some skulls had been faced with the selfsame choice, but to see how their kin suffered.
Cannot say I do not understand, though I wish I did that. Their crimes will never be forgiven. They can't be. But I and any others who are willing can offer our prayers for these tortured souls and the men they could have been. I accept the invitation. Not on behalf of the M tribe, but as Miraz Nun. Though I will put the question to my people that they may decide for themselves. I'm also eager to make the acquaintance of the person who wrote this letter. He's not wont to turn a blind eye to the bitter truth, painful though it is to confront. The meeting will be the perfect opportunity to take his measure. It is nice coming out here to see Minago's dad and mom again. Though technically, aren't most of these... Yeah, they're Sunseekers, so... Well, no, it's not a guarantee that, like, all of these women are, like, his women and their children are... Well, if they have children, they're definitely his children. Like, if they're part of the M tribe and they have any kids, then they're definitely his. But not every female of a Sunseeker tribe has to be one of the Noon's women or whatever, or be with the Noon. If they want a child, it has to be his, but they can also just be, like, warriors and hunters and traders and whatever they want to be. They don't have to be, like, the Noon's women if they don't want to. Alright. Now it's over to the Ananta, who... This one's gonna be tough. Although I suppose the Ananta that suffered the most at the hands of the Empire, and especially Fordola, are not the ones I'm delivering this letter to. Those are the ones I fight against during the trials. This is the Beast Tribe, so that's a bit different. Welcome. To what do we owe the pleasure of your visit? And it is as I suspected. There have been rumors that such a ceremony would take place. Although you have traveled far to make this invitation, I must decline. We cannot mourn the loss of the fallen if the Crania Lupi are to be counted among them. Like the Kalyana, they chose to aid the Garlean oppressors, killing and bleeding for those who would pillage our lands. Cowards and traitors all. And are we to assume that Kalyana, who died fighting for the Empire, will be honored as well? If so, that is all the more reason for us to refuse. Read it. Before just refusing out of hand, at least read the letter. If you insist. I do like that they actually address this. Like, it may seem like a waste part of a limited quest line on something as boring as deliver letters, but I do this needed to be addressed. Like delivering it to the Beast tribes and the Sunseeker tribes and stuff that really suffered at the Empire's hands, and they didn't have members of their tribe that were like the Skulls. Or even if they did, the M tribe didn't. Actually, the Ananta did. Like, she was mentioning Kalyana and them, so they did have people that, like, join the Empire. But addressing how we even get these people to show up to the ceremony is important. No one was spared suffering in the occupation. Not the resistance, not the collaborators, not the families of both. No one. But so many would die in shame and ignominy. Having sold their souls only to lose everything is a tragedy and a lesson. If they are forgotten, then the lesson if their folly is forgotten. For the sake of this land we call home, I will join you in remembrance,
and implore my people to do the same. In mourning, may we strengthen our ties with our neighbors as well. By together facing our past, we can build a foundation for lasting peace and prosperity. It will be my honor to attend the proposed meeting, and I look forward to personally thanking your friend Arenvold for his dedication. And my peers have much to learn from the example he has set.
Like, he's doing good. He's doing pretty good as, like, a politician and a representative and all that stuff for somebody who was a gladiator before and never saw himself as having any skill in this domain. Oh, wait, I don't need to fly. He's nice enough to actually stand right here for me. What the... I think I actually do know those suspenders. I think I actually may have a pair of them in my glamour dresser that I never use because I don't really like the black suspender top look.
So how'd you find the fringes? I said that about me. It's rare for me to get such glowing praise, especially from renowned leaders like Sarisha and Miraz Nun. More importantly, though, they agreed to attend the meeting, and I've got you to thank for that. After all, I imagine it's hard to turn down an invitation when it's hand delivered by the Warrior of Light himself.
That's not why they agreed to come, dude.
If I get ahead of myself, though, let's remember that this is only the beginning. Bringing everyone together is one thing. Coming to an agreement on an extremely divisive issue is a different kettle of fish entirely, as Her Grace was quick to point out. But as she taught me, if our cause is just and our hearts are true, those of like mind will surely answer the call. And answer it they have. While there are bound to be differences of opinion, I'm sure there's nothing we can't overcome if we put our minds to it. To that end, I was hoping you could join us. If you've the time to spare, there are still a few loose ends Ragnfrid and I need to tie up beforehand. So we'll meet you in the palace as soon as we can. Just having you there will make a world of difference.
Am I going to the palace now? Okay, so this is part of the same quest. I was worried they were going to split these up and the last fight would be, like, at the planning meeting rather than the ceremony itself. I really want this last fight to be at the ceremony itself, which is a little crazy of me because it means more people are going to be at risk of turning into abominations or getting killed, but I think it'll lead to a much more impressive, like, final section of this quest if the fight is at the ceremony.
Wait for the meeting, yes? While we all agree upon the importance of the ceremony, we recognize that the inclusion of the cranial lupi will be distressing for many. I too lost family at their hands. I would never ask others to forgive and forget. But for all their crimes, they were Alamegans like us. None made the decision to side with Garlemald lightly. They had a choice, and they chose to betray us. Who among us have not made difficult choices for kith and kin? And do not forget that Fordola chose to stand between us and a primal. What does that have to do with it?
She could have let you all die. Easily let you all die. And done nothing.
Brothers and sisters, arguing will avail us not. The fate of Alamigo rests on my shoulders and yours. On those of every man, woman, and child that call these lands home. To uphold our honor, to strive for prosperity, to protect our loved ones. We all know the weight of these responsibilities. It was the self-same weight which drove many of our people to serve our oppressors, misguided as it was.
Though they chose a different, unconscionable path, in the end, we all wanted the same thing, to deliver our families from persecution, that they might live to see one more day, because another day in shame and self-hatred was still better than none at all. The regretful dead are survived by their despair, a despair which threatens to drag us all into the abyss from where there's no escape. Know that it surely will if we welcome it into our hearts out of disdain for those we cannot forgive. But we Alamegans will not be so easily defeated. We'll stand united and conquer this menace. Every Alamegan who fought and died did so in the hopes that one day we would be free. And we are free. We are free. By the blood of our fallen brothers and sisters, we're free. Free to lock away the pain and pretend it has no power over us, till it festers and takes us in our beds. And free to lay it bare and let it breathe. To acknowledge and to mourn our people at their best and their worst. The past is ours to bear, all of it. For ourselves and for our future generations, so that they needn't suffer like we did. Let us make Alamigo a nation where no man is left behind, where he can make all the wrong choices and still be afforded the chance to make a right one. He is very good at this, actually. That went better than any of us could have hoped for. You have my gratitude for your part in the proceedings. But we both know who the real hero of the day was. This was all Arnvald's idea, and it was his words that finally won over the naysayers. Now that we have the community leaders on our side, we should have a much easier time convincing the rest of the citizenry. Of course, holding the ceremony is by no means our final objective. No matter what we say, some will refuse to attend. It's my hope, however, that it will still serve to provide a measure of closure for us all, and to ease the plight of the vulnerable and ostracized. Speaking of which, you recall the incident with Ferdola and Alagana. The young girl she saved and her mother wished to thank her personally. Considering what happened last time, though, I have reservations. It'd be a valuable opportunity to present a former skull in a more positive light. On the other hand, I don't need to tell you how unpredictable she can be, and that's before taking her echo into consideration. But that's a conversation for another day. Go and get some rest, you've earned it. Final story beat? Salted Thavnarian. Great. Give me a salted fish. No, not final story beat. We actually have one more quest. Trail of Skulls. We're going to find out what happened to Rudolph in this one, I bet. And since they've sort of backburnered that, just like said it once, she mentioned Rudolph survived, and then we never talked about it again, I am thinking it's going to turn out that the blasphemy is Rudolph. I thought it would be later that we'd have the identity revealed, but since we had the identity, like, not revealed, but the identity teased at, and then never mentioned him again, it probably will be him. Blasphemy Hunter may seem calm and collected from a distance, you suspect something is amiss. Something terrible's happened. It's Ferdola. She's escaped. She was accompanying a squadron out on a training exercise. One moment she was there, and the next she was gone. Didn't think much of it at the time, but she's been acting strangely ever since she went to meet that mother and child. You know, the ones who wanted to thank her for saving the girl's life. When I told Commander Alden about it, he went charging off to Alagana to ask them if they have any idea where she might be. Thought about going after him, but when I heard you were headed this way, I reckoned it'd be better to send you in my stead. Godspeed, Ashran. Yeah, the conversation with the mother and daughter probably ended up revealing something about the survivors, like Rudolph, or maybe some other survivor that we haven't mentioned yet, right? And so she took off trying to, like, find them, or found out that they were the blasphemy already, and went off to try and kill it herself or something. Ash, I wasn't expecting to see you here. You've heard what's happened, then? Just as Fedola was beginning to earn our trust, she's given us the slip. As you may know, she was a choker enchanted to prevent exactly that. If I were to give the order, she'd be dead within moments, and she knows that. She took the risk anyway, so I have to believe she has a good reason. That's what we're looking into now. We're hoping Clarel and young Lily here could shed some light on the matter. I'd like to ask you about your conversation with Fedola, if we may. Yes, of course. I know she's the butcher, or was, at least, but it didn't seem right to go without thanking her. That's why I requested a meeting to express my gratitude, and my apologies. She was quiet at first, just stood there as we spoke, as if she weren't even listening. Then I mentioned the blasphemy, and she looked at Lily, and all of a sudden clutched her own head and cried out in agony. Echo. Yup. You remember what you were thinking about at the time? A man? The one I saw in the city. What? Who? Do you have something to do with all those people panicking? Oh, she saw the transformation into blasphemy firsthand. Oh, she did. Yep. Yeah, probably Rudolph. I think he did. When I was waiting for you, I saw him. He was by himself. She probably saw it was Rudolph, as I suspect, who turned into the blasphemy and immediately set off to try and, like, deal with it herself. He looked poorly, so I asked if he was alright, and he said yes. He had a nice smile. Come on, come on. Come on, Echo, trigger for me. Although it may not matter if it did. I don't even know if my character knows what Rudolph looks like. Got up and started walking, but then... he was shouting and screaming. I was so frightened I didn't want to talk about it, not even to Mom. I should have said something sooner. Sorry, Puppet. It's my fault for leaving you on your own. The man who turned into a blasphemy, I'd wager. The girl saw him, which means Fedola's now seen him too. There was one other thing. When Fedola was having her funny turn, she said something. Charlie? No. Charlotte, I think. That was it. Ring any bells? Can't say it does. But if he has anything to do with the skulls, the Silver Griffin should have some information on him. Okay, so it wasn't Rudolph. It was another member who survived that we just hadn't mentioned yet. We best have a word with Ragenford then. You've both been very helpful. I'd also like to thank you for being so kind to Fedola. She may not have said it, but I'm sure it meant a lot to her. So, wait, no, this is only 89. I don't know what 90 is going to be then. If we're chasing Fedola, there's a chance she didn't succeed, or he beat the shit out of her when she came after him. And maybe that happens, and then the big fight happens next one. Or maybe the big fight happens this time, and then the next one is just like story. I have a couple more things I'd like to ask, so I'll catch up with you later. name. My mouse could use a good cleaning. Like, after stream today, maybe. It's starting to build up that, like, annoying gunk from just, like, my sweat and stuff like that on some of the buttons and things.
Charlotte, you say? Yes, the name came up during our recent investigations. As I recall, he served under the Viceroy during the occupation. His whereabouts is currently unknown. I had an older brother named Ansfred, one of the Crania Lupi.
Ah! It's the younger brother that she was hoping had a good life or whatever, ended up turning into the blasphemy. So we have actually mentioned this guy before, but we never mentioned him by name.
Which would give him a connection to Flordola. Is there anyone who could tell us more about him? Yes, an uncle who we recently helped find employment here in Alagana. He's actually the one who asked us to look for Charlotte. You'll most likely find him working at the Sleeping Stones. As it happens, I was planning to bring him something to eat. I'll join you there shortly.
Oh wow, he is way out there. It is interesting to be in Alamigo again. Like, my time hanging out here in Alamigo and doing quests and talking to people and all that sort of stuff was long enough ago, like back in post-Stormblood time, that it's getting to the point of feeling kind of nostalgic being here. Also, just seeing in this quest line how they're kind of like recovering, rebuilding, like facing their problems and moving on and stuff is nice to see, because that was one of the problems I had with the Stormblood storyline, actually.
Perhaps we should have asked what he looks like.
Raubon. Oops, we both set off without bothering to ask.
Still looking, eh? That's him, over there.
What are they breaking up these stones for right now?
Like, I get there are people mining, but this seems like a dangerous place for them to be mining, and what are they using these stones for? Or are they clearing it out to build here? I doubt it.
Although I suppose if this guy is tangentially connected to the skulls by his older nephew, that maybe he just wanted to live in a more out-of-the-way place and just, like, makes a living maybe mining and selling to the local towns.
Hope we're not interrupting. Oh, no, of course not. It's good to see you, Ravenfred. My word, the Bull of Alamigo and the champion of the Alliance. What brings such esteemed guests to our humble, quarry? At ease, my good fellow. We merely wish to ask you about your nephew. Charlotte, you found him? No luck yet, then. Is there anything else you could tell us? More about his childhood, perhaps? Wasn't much of one, I'm afraid. Poor boy's life was ruined long before he had any say in the matter. His parents and I swore allegiance to Garlemald to secure ourselves and our kin's citizenship. For all the good it did us here, living amongst our countrymen who treated us as pariahs. Took its toll on him and his brother to be spat on as traitors by association. One thing led to another, and Ansfred, together with most of his friends, joined the Imperial Army. That's how it started, you know. The Crania Lupi, Gaius' loyal little pups. You remember the names of these friends?
Well, yeah, Rudolph, Vidola, Emmeline, I don't really remember, but I think you did see these guys in cutscenes with Fordola, but again, this is so long ago at this point. I mean, Stormblood must have been like 5 or 6 months ago by now. That I don't remember their names. Okay. So you've now proven to me that it's not busted and stuck on confetti. You just got 3 confettis in a row for some reason last time, so there's that. But apparently it is working. Jesus, what are the odds of 3 confettis in a row? I think I have like 5 or 6. No, maybe closer to like 8 or 9 items set up on throw, and you got 3 of the same one. Yes, they had quite the reputation growing up. Emlyn, Rudolph, and the angry little girl who'd grow up to become the butcher herself, Rodola. Charlotte was part of their group too, yes? But from what we've heard, he chose not to become a soldier. Wouldn't have lasted a day in training. He knew that better than anyone, of course. Not that it helped him to feel any less guilty for turning his back on the others. Blamed himself for their deaths, for not stopping them when he had the chance, for not being strong enough to fight by their side. Maybe save them, maybe not. But he wasn't there, and he wished he had been. Then one day he was gone. Wherever he is, I hope he's safe and well. Yeah, unfortunately not so much, buddy. The only thing left to do is for us to kill him and grant him a measure of peace. So do we. Thank you. The information you've shared should prove useful. And for you, I brought some food. Why don't you call it a day and go and enjoy it with your family? Oh well, man. Man, these skulls all got the, like, short end of the stick. Really. Most of them died, the survivors. Well, Rudolph might still be out there somewhere. I'm sure he's not happy. He's probably got horrible PTSD and stuff like that. But at the very least, he might still be alive out there and making something of his life. Now, post-war. I mean, Fordola's left with, like, all the trauma to deal with of her own betrayal of her own squad, as well as how much the people of Valamigo hate her. And, like, everyone else either died fighting for a country they didn't care about, or now has turned into a blasphemy and we need to kill him. Jesus. Let him have the peace for now. Back to Alagana. Yeah, no reason for us to tell the uncle that his last fucking living nephew has become a monster. Oh, you know what? No, forget that. It's a far enough distance. I'll just teleport. Come, Omega. Just teleport right into the center of Alagana and conquer the whole city, even though it's a tiny little village. Sorry, every time I mount up on Omega, my inner conqueror and warlord just comes out. So not only was his brother a member of the Skulls, but Charlotte himself, a childhood friend of Fordola's. He totally refused the support of the Silver Griffins as well. He's been trying to make his own way for some time now. His brother and his friends died at Specula Imperatoris, save for Fordola. Gods only know how he felt about her after that. Or how Fordola felt about Charlotte after seeing Lily's memory of him, transforming into a blasphemy. Brother of a man she killed and a childhood friend besides. She thinks she's responsible for this. That's why she ran, to kill the beast. Never thought I'd say this, but I'm worried about her. Fordola is a survivor and an outcast herself. Exactly the sort of person the Silver Griffins are trying to support. You've seen for yourself the sacrifices she's willing to make. You can learn to feel sympathy for her, maybe others can too. I think we have enough information for the time being. Let's return to the city and plan our next move. Ah, crap. Yeah, the final fight's not going to take place at the memorial. That's too bad. That would have been a really interesting set piece. To have the final fight while people are having this, like, remembrance ceremony or whatever. That would have made for a really interesting set piece. But it sounds like they're just gonna have us go out into the middle of nowhere with Fordola and the creature and fight it. Oh well. Guess we'll see. Now give me some salted fish, Raban. Assigned a few of my soldiers to assist the Silver Griffins in investigating Charlotte's background. With luck, we'll find him quickly, and then we can prepare for what must come after. All but certain Charlotte's the one who transformed into a blasphemy, so there's naught to be done but put him out of his misery. As for Fordola, put Minago and her troops in charge of tracking her. Once they've found her, they have my permission to lend whatever support they deem necessary. It's interesting to me that they have to track her, like, traditional style. I know you gave her a collar that you can basically use to kill her whenever you want. Why did it not have a tracking enchantment put on it, too? If it comes to it, I may ask you to join the search. Till such time, I ask that you take this opportunity to rest. Please tell me this fish is actually geared towards a healer, at least. Because the one I got in the tank questline had, like, nothing to do with a tank. Piety, sort of. That's MP regeneration, vitality, determination. This is kind of healer-esque. Why no mind, though? Why no mind? Every single healer uses mind as their, like, potency builder. Why no mind? Why piety instead? Whatever. They have some weird stats on some of the food they give you in these role quests. But at least this one is, like, still healer geared, even though it's not, like, the better of the two stats. The Gift of Mercy. Yeah. Piety's mana regeneration. I'm surprised that one didn't have any mind boost on it. Because that's your potency. It's even more flustered than usual and good reason. My goodness, you're here. Commander Alden needs to see you right away. Follow me. Sage doesn't really need piety if you do it right. Yeah, that's the thing. I was a little worried because at first blush, when I knew we were going into Savage raiding, I went for a mid-piety build for like ease, for a little more of a safety net without going too aggressively into piety. And I was worried, like, oh wait, no, I'm going in as like a quote-unquote pure healer sage. All of my OGCDs don't cost mana anyway. I should go for the more aggressive build that's focused on like damage dealing. But I looked at the mid-piety build, and it uses a few more... It uses a few more augmented tombstone pieces, so I'm guessing they probably have higher piety. But I did notice the mid-piety build doesn't ever meld for piety. So I think I'm fine using it, because it's not melding it's not like an overabundance of piety. It's just a little more. So I think it'll be a good mid-ground. Plus, the like more damage-focused build needed more raid pieces anyway, and we haven't started, so I don't have any raid pieces, so I may as well be getting the tombstone ones. Keep it contained until I arrive. Do not engage if you can help it. Understood? That was Minago. Her unit has found Fordola, or rather, she has found them. In fact, I have Fordola on the search party's link pearl. She wants a word with you. This is urgent, so be quiet and listen. Blasphemy, my friend, is right in front of us. I tracked him down, and when he spotted me, he started heading towards Specula Imperatoris. Look, Ashran, I need your help. Good to know she's willing to admit it now. Charlotte's not... He never wanted to hurt anyone, but this thing he's become is... Can't leave him like this. I've got to stop him, whatever it takes. I'm on my way. I'm not even going to bother to tell her don't engage till I get there. I already know she's not going to listen. I'll just get there as fast as I can. I owe you. Like, in no way do I think Fordola's going to listen to me if I tell her to hold off. This is Minago. Can you hear me? We've got the Blasphemy Surah. Double shield is hella weird. I've tried it a few times and I hate it as Sage. So, it's gonna be rough. I don't think I'm gonna hate it. I think if I was going into a double shield healer setup, I would actually hate it more as Scholar. I think I would hate it more as Scholar. On Sage, you're right. It's gonna feel a little bit like I'm playing Sage wrong because I'm not gonna be Eucrasia shielding anybody since the Scholar is the one focusing on shields. But I already do a lot of like pure healer stuff with my Sage anyway. When I play Sage normally, I already tend to use my OGCDs quite a lot to just sort of like keep health up and keep it going and keep a regen on whenever I can and stuff like that, right? So I'm actually fairly used to playing Sage the way I will need to play him, or at least somewhat close to the way I will need to play him with a double shield healer setup, which is mostly don't worry about shields at all. The only time I might overwrite the Scholar's shield is like with Panheima, if I know a big multi-hit is gonna go off on the whole arena, or with a Eucrasian diagnosis or prognosis in the moment, just to pop a Pepsis for a big heal. I may overwrite the Scholar's shields to get to my bigger things, or because I have the better like multi-hit shield that doesn't take a big tank buster well, but it takes a bunch of little hits really well, right? Those are the only times I'll probably overwrite the Scholar's shields. You won't be using Panheima for multi-hits, sadly. Well then, am I not going to be using it at all, or is there something else I should be using it for in Abysso Savage? Because I thought the whole point of the Haima's skills is for lesser damaging, not big tank busters, but things that hit multiple times. Because they break, heal, like that. You do use it. So then what do I use it on, if not multi-hits? I don't even know if Proto-Carby has a big multi-hit thing, but what do I use it on then? The way it works is 5 tiny shields, right? Yeah, but its biggest plus is per stack, but it doesn't use it, has a big heal at the end. Yeah. Well, that's why I tend to use it on multi-hits, because its first benefit is it can take multiple hits and shield people for them, and whenever a shield breaks, it also gives a little heal. I don't think it's like, if you can maintain all the stacks, you get a big heal at the end. You do get a big heal at the end if you maintain all the stacks, but I think based on the potency of the cures that it casts every time a shield breaks, I think you get about the same amount of heal either way. So use it to take 1 AoE and you don't have to heal. Okay. I would want to... I thought there was a heal when a shield broke. Alright, let me get out of this cutscene and I'll read the tooltip again. It's on the move. Get ahead of it. But maintain distance. We need to... Fadola, what are you doing? Fadola! Of course she went charging in. No mechanic P5. Hits in 15 seconds. Oh. Oh, there is no mechanic of 5 hits in 15 seconds. There's no time to waste. They need our help. Do you use it for the heal, not for the shields? Yeah, I didn't think there were really mechanics. I'm a little rough because I only watched... I watched the Miz Tech and I watched the Hector Sin or whatever ones of Proto-Carby like once each, so I'm still a little rough on exactly how to handle it, but I didn't recall there being any big multi-hit like break a shield, break a shield, break a shield attacks. 5 stacks of Panheim at the moment. Magic Barrier on self and party members. Absorbs damage equivalent to a 200 potency. When the barrier is completely absorbed, a stack of Panheimatnon is consumed and a new barrier applied. When it... Oh, you're right. Yeah. I was reading the tooltip wrong. When it gets absorbed, it it applies another shield, but it only applies the cure potency at the end, and it's per stack of Hamatman. Okay. Also, I don't think Panheim overwrites scholarship. It doesn't? Oh. If I have effects that don't overwrite scholar shields, that'll be really good, because then I could use Haima and Panheima for, like, big hits. I could use Haima for, like, tank busters to just give a little bit of extra shield to help the tank out, and then a heal after the fact. And I could use Panheima for big AoE arena hits. Yeah, I know the shield interactions are fucking weird. Since I don't know them all intricately, I just went with the assumption that, like, any shield I created would overwrite the scholars. There's a video that covers them. If you can find that, then I definitely would like a link to that, so I can understand what you can and cannot do with a double shield heal setup without breaking shields. Or I'll probably look for it after stream, too. Even if you can't. Plus, I still want to watch a healer, at least, and preferably a shield healer, if possible, POV of Proto-Carby before we start. So I can kind of get a feel for, like, what the fight looks like and what kind of skills they're using at what times and things like that. Because the big videos are great for, like, the mechanics of the fight, but getting an actual healer POV so I see sort of how they're handling the individual moments of the fight would help. And I need to look for one of those. Yeah, so Panheim is not going to be... It is better to... I mean, it's good if you have big multi-hit sections, but in a situation like this where there aren't big multi-hit sections and it's just one enemy, the Proto-Carby, and he uses attacks, like, over time, it is good for the heal. I do need to figure out if they overwrite the Scholar Shield, though. Plus, I think I need to cast Haima or Panheima fairly early on if I want to use it for the heal. Because I need to give it enough time to tick down so that the heal will go off before the next mechanic happens. So, like, the second I see Proto-Carby start a cast, I think I would want to throw the Haima or Panheima up so that it has time to tick down, and then we get hit, and then the heal goes off before he does something else. Radiata and Algiria are not that far from Specula Imperatoris. Use it before the first mechanic, then I don't have to heal it and can DPS. If we let the blasphemy slip through our fingers, it doesn't bear the thinking about. While Fedola is determined to slay it by her own hand, we can't allow her recklessness to put the lives of others in jeopardy. Time's come for action. You ready? Yep. 550. I love when they're like, you'll be level synced to level 90 and item level 550. And generally when those things happen, I was about the same area level and eye level and stuff like that wise. And it's like, oh, that's fine. It's about right. But nowadays it's like, wow, I'm losing like 65 eye levels by doing this. Hold the line for as long as you can. Commander Alden and the Warrior of Light will be here any moment. Stay strong. Hey, Rabon. He seriously just kicked this dude in the shin? Yeah, that seems about right for Rabon. You've done well. Leave the rest to us. Yes, sir. Get the injured to safety. Coward. Coward. Traitor to them, to everyone. Oof. Great. Good time for an echo. Oh, this is her telling them they're gonna, like, go off and join the... Yeah. Wish there was another way. Yeah, so do I. The fighting's the only thing I'm any good at. Makes me wonder how I ended up with such a clever brother. The joke here is he may have been able to join them in the unit, which wouldn't have been good, because he'd probably just have ended up dead too. But if he's really such a clever brother, he probably could have been a mage. And they all went gladiator, basically. They could have used a healer or a mage or anything to back them up, but I guess the Empire doesn't care about that. They just wanted grunts for cannon fodder. Too clever for my own good, maybe. Just the thought of going into battle, of getting hurt, having to hurt other people. Is a bleeding heart, our Charlotte? Sooner befriend a fly than shoo it away, much less kill it. I could kill if I wanted. I could. But you don't. There's no shame in that. Leave the soldier into us, Charlotte. We'll show the Garleans what we're capable of. Get the power and respect we deserve. And then things will change. They will, you'll see. We found a place for ourselves. And you'll soon find yours. Alright, that'll do. Everyone who's enlisted, meet back here tomorrow. Though it does look like Emmeline is a caster, actually. I guess they're not all just gladiators. Verdola's a gladiator, but Ansfrid, I think that is, looks like he might be a monk? No, he might be a dragoon with that outfit. There's no telling what Rudolph is, because that's just a glam outfit he's wearing. I don't think that's even, like, a class armor. But Emmeline, I think, is a caster. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is after the destruction and after their deaths. I couldn't tell because the buildings were so big and still looked fine, but some of the area inside looks like it's busted and rubble and all that. Yeah, what good did I do? Give everything they had to give while I hid like a rat waiting for the storm to pass. Yeah, definitely. Coward. Coward. Ah! Yup. Oof. Coward. Coward. Better dead. Better forgotten. It's not your fault, Charlotte. It's not. I didn't do anything wrong. And I'm the coward, the traitor, the butcher. I'll always be the butcher. Don't you dare, Fedora! I do love Minago. Instead of some nonsense bullshit like platitude, she's like, don't you fucking dare, woman! You don't get to give up. You don't get to be a coward. Now man the fuck up and get out there and fight, right? You don't get to end it. You don't get to give up. I won't let you. You have a lifetime to make amends in a town, to become something more than what you were. But if you die here, you are everything they say. Everything you believe. Is that what you want? Yeah, it's like, you don't get to take the easy way out. She's not going anywhere. Just rolls up. Oh, Ragenford's pushing him. For a moment there when he just rolled into screen and his hands weren't moving at all, like, what the fuck? Ernvald, why are you here? There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Can't fight by your side, but I can still cheer you on. I've seen your past, Charlotte. How you were left behind while your friends rushed into battle. It's bloody hard, isn't it? Wanting to do something so desperately with every fiber of your being, knowing that you should be able to. You should, but you can't. So you find another way to support them, Your way. You did that too, didn't you? You were there for them, even if it didn't feel like it. But you were, Charlotte. You were. As a friend of mine once said, not all heroes are forged in the fires of battle. The history of Alamigo is written in blood. While we can't change the past, we can change the future. For that, we must all play our part. All of us. You too, Ferdola. There's no taking the easy way out. It's time to just do the hard work. Hansford, Emmeline, one day we'll be together again, but not yet. You never hurt anyone, Charlotte. That's not who you are. You'll be remembered as the kind soul you always were. Blasphemy, Charlotte. I like that they just give the blasphemies their actual names. Like, they don't bother calling it some bullshit name of, like, an enemy name. They just give it the name of the person. Counting on you. Oh yeah, I'm a healer in this one. Yeah, they are counting on me. The two tanks that I'm fighting alongside. Oof. Double tank, single healer, and no DPS setup. Ugh. That's rough. Please tell me my Panheimas work. Yes, it does work on me. Good. Oh, thank God. I hate when NPC allies, like, can't be healed and stuff indirectly, and you have to, like, focus them down to do anything. And even then, sometimes it doesn't work. I'm gonna go ahead and focus target her. I think Raubon will handle this better than she does. Although Raubon is our tank. Nope, Raubon's our main tank here. So I'm gonna focus target him. I guess Fordola's just our off tank. Raubon is still a gladiator. Sorry, I came in mid-combo. I'll just sure cast this one. Not worry about the knockback for now. Oh, shit. That one. Damn it! Duty failed. I actually do have keybinds specifically so that I can focus my focus target, but I was slow on the pushing of them and fucked up the duty that way. Wonderful. Damn it. I stream muted to work on audio. Yeah. Also, thank you for the follow, Werewolf. Skip. I do actually have a quick keybind to focus my focus target. I didn't notice his health was that low until it was late, and then I fumble fingered the fucking keybind, so... Big shield. Big chunky shield for that.
As one!
I also like that the NPC allies are smart enough to spin the enemy north for me. That's nice. Okay. Oh yeah, Raubon. I'll draw his attention. Ash, keep me in the fight. Yeah. Now focus Raubon. Keep an eye on your focus target down there so you can make sure to pay attention to it. It's still doing okay. That was just the spheres. Let me find a safe spot. Shortcast through this one. Since the only real benefit Shortcast gives me is knockback resistance, I may as well use it. He's already got a Haima on, but he could use another heal. Whew. That was a little rougher than I wanted it to be. Let's go ahead and just slap a regen on us. Shield you. Damn, Raubon. His health is just like constantly down. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't put Cardion on Raubon. That's why his health is constantly down. I didn't bother to Cardion Raubon. Jesus Christ, that was dumb of me. Polos. Oh, god damn it. Fucking ad in the middle of my... Damn you, Twitch. These are in order. Yeah, these ones are another circle. Got it. Even Twitch just throws up ads in the middle of content.
Show them what we're made of!
Go ahead and just shield you both a little bit. Should be okay. Oh, the lightning is sapping her strength? Shit. I'm gonna go ahead and put regen up then, and I'll party on Cordola for now. Oh, Christ. Oh, I can shortcast through this one again. Oof! Didn't realize my shortcast was back up. I think Cordola's okay now. Go ahead and do a first heal for all of us again. And then slap Cardion back down on him. Okay, is Cordola still losing health? Oh, Passage of Arms. No. Oh, it's his own, like, version of Passage of Arms, since he's not actually a paladin, he's a gladiator. But he is still the bull, so fuck it. Regen. Shit. Big heal. Pepsis. Fuck. Fanheima. This is perfect for Fanheima. There you go, Cordola. Oof. Didn't realize that was gonna be a multi-hit. Oh, man. Yes, he does get a fucking cool version with all, like, the spikes out of the ground, almost warrior-esque, and then it's all red and shields us up. Bye, buddy. Huh. Another echo. It is still amazing that they acknowledge that that Rudolph made it out. So he's not here, obviously, he's still alive, but then we just, like, never mentioned him again or what he's up to nowadays. Thank you. I mean it. You idiot. Fucking high fives her. Just sitting back there watching us fight this thing. Okay then. This little girl really likes her for some reason. I mean, I get why she saved her life and all that, but it's hilarious compared to, like, everyone else who's terrified of her. I'm looking everywhere for you. Have you now? We put down the last remaining beast spawned by the blasphemy. It is a pity we could do naught for those who've turned. That we were able to prevent further casualties is nothing short of a miracle. It's astonishing, too, looking back at Charlotte's case. Although his existence spurred others to transform, he never attacked any settlements or travelers. Even when he underwent the change in the middle of a crowded street, those who were present escaped with minor injuries at worst. Like, even as a blasphemy, he was desperately trying not to hurt people. I think that deep down his compassion is what kept the raging blasphemy at bay. The only time he emerged from hiding was to journey to the place where his brother died. It's clear he still retains some semblance of his former self. Now the victim of the Empire's terrible legacy, along with his friends and so many others. The Chronia Lupi wasn't the creation of the Imperials alone. Many of those youths sought a place with them because they were denied one with us. That's why the memorial ceremony is so important. It's our chance to face our past together. Great rest of your stream, man. I really do need to nap. Alright, have a good rest, Werewolf. And I'll see you on Saturday. Or Sunday. I don't actually know. Are you part of both teams or only one? Although I think that's the Saturday team I'm thinking of. Anyway, whatever. Have a good night. Pass together. Give them in death what we couldn't in life. Do not deny anyone a place in memory. Even if it hurts and makes us feel ashamed. You'll be attending, won't you? I haven't been ordered to do so I suppose not. In light of your little service to Alamigo, I intend to have the conditions by which you are bound eased. Providing I'm able to obtain approval, you'll be granted a degree of freedom. At the very least, we should soon have no need for that choker. No objections from me. You've done well. If I didn't know better, I'd think you were smiling. Well, I for one couldn't be happier her efforts are being recognized. Gives me that much more motivation to continue my work with the Silver Griffins and bring the people of Alamigo closer together. Got to do my best to keep up with a certain little lordling, eh? Oh my god, gotta keep up with Alpha now. I think we've done enough for one day. Time we got some rest. Allow me, as both the guardian of Alamigo and as your sworn comrade, to express my thanks for coming to our aid in these desperate times. No matter what manner of disaster may befall us, your presence alone is enough to keep the flame of hope burning bright. Even someone on the very precipice of despair, such as Fordola, can find salvation in your guiding light. Laying out a bit thick, aren't you? Yo. Forbid people would stop throwing themselves in harm's way at every opportunity. Immortal flame yourself. No, laying it on a bit thick, aren't you? Am I? Both Monago and Arnvold said much the same thing. Must be getting soft in my old age. In any case, it's safe to say that we've all benefited enormously from your sterling work here. We couldn't ask for a better healer or a better friend. Ambassador nods at Han will be relieved to learn of our successes here. If you happen to cross paths, give him my regards, would you? Alright. That's gonna be finished. Wow, that actually was like almost exactly 3 hours. I love Rods at Han. Man, the design, the city, the music, it's all great. Greetings. How goes it now, amigo? Eliminating blasphemies, helping organize a memorial ceremony. Certainly kept you busy. Fine example of going above and beyond the call of duty. I'll be sure to send word of your exploits to Eldar. Wait till the Sultana hears about this. Oh wait, that was both of them talking. Oops. Your Grace will not be the only one to welcome this news. On behalf of the Grand Company of Eorzea and our allies, allow me to express my most heartfelt gratitude. Oh well. Dye the job-specific gear for level 90 healers, except I'm probably not going to wear it too much. It's not bad looking, but it's a little aggressively like, this is the Sage outfit. I usually don't go for those super specific design outfits. Okay. No rest cycle for the Isle work earning. Oh yeah, Isle work earnings. Yes, I did get a lot of that. And I need to check my island again today. Let me jot that down too. There's a number of things I couldn't craft because I needed more animal parts, and I'm hoping I've gotten here early enough that I can grab the animal parts from today before they eventually can't be crafted. Hopefully I didn't miss any. We'll see. Plus I need to see what the prime time looks like for tomorrow. In the Protea. Shifting Gymnasium Agonon 20 times. Gymnasiarch. Yeah. I got that one. I sure as hell hasn't gotten to the bottom of it. I don't actually know that this one has an achievement for getting to the end of it like 20 times. Some of the others it was get to the end of it 20 times. But this one is terrible, man. Like, we must have run probably close to 10 maps last night, and we got Calypso'd every single time we got in. I mean, we probably ran like 12 or 13 maps. We got probably like 6 or 7 portals, and we got Calypso'd every single time. Like, we've not made it to the end of that. I think I've made it to the end of the Shifting Gymnasium Agonon 1 time. Every single time other than that, I've gotten a Calypso. Except one time we actually did get killed. But, like, it's insanely difficult to make it to the bottom, to the end of that Agonon. I don't know why Calypso seems so fucking commonplace for me in my FC and all that. Anyway. Alright. I suppose I could check on my island now. I do have a little more time. Let me go ahead and... 700, screw that. I'll go to Limsa first. It'll just take me a second to check on my island. And I can, like I said, see what the crime time looks like for today. So I can set up tomorrow. Tomorrow. Island stuff. I should actually bring that up real quick. I had it up just a minute ago. There it is. Isle loaf and growth formula back and forth for today. Here we go. I was going to say it hasn't quite been 3 hours yet, but I was going to call it after that. But screw it, I want to check my island anyway, so I'll go ahead and check that. That'll take me about 10 or 15 minutes anyway. Oh, do I still have... Yeah, I still have Menfina's music playing. No, I need to go to my pasture first. Hey, buddy. What do we got? Okay, I ran out of the Isle Green feed finally. So let's go ahead and upgrade these guys to the premium green feed now. I just wanted to wait until I ran out. Is it Claw that I needed? No, I think it's Fang that I needed. Anywho. I seem to not have a ton of things that give me Fang either, so maybe that's part of the problem. Let me see how I'm doing here. If I collect from everything in my pasture, produce, stock stores. Okay, I have 1 Fang. If I collect from everything, yeah, I don't have enough animals that give me Fangs in general. That's part of the problem. Oof. That's part of the problem. How are we doing? These I don't have access to yet because I'm not high enough level just yet. Island level just yet. Everything else is covered. These are... Parsnip? No. Radish? No. I don't remember what these are. I think I need island level like 11 before I can get access to those 2 seeds though. It's basically just like the optimal island gardening setup to give you like everything, a little bit of everything you could need for crafts and things like that, and plenty for feed. How about you? Collect. Collect. I'll see about where I need to send them in just a second. I think I'm going to be missing out today. 1803, because I am, yeah, I'm still missing 9 Fangs, and there's no way for me to get them in time. I'm definitely going to miss out on some stuff today. Oh well. So be it. Yeah, see, insufficient materials. I did get the first one, though. Somehow I had enough for that first one, but I'm not going to have enough for the last one. Oh well. Okay. What was it again? Isle loaf and growth formula. Isle loaf. Wait, is it 6 or is it 4? Yeah, it's a 4. Oh, I may not be able to craft. Sample for recommendations in general. Isle loaf. Yeah, I don't see it at all. So I have the growth formula. Potion, sunflower, crab brush, mushroom, butter, parsnip, squid ink, relish, coconut juice, honey. Doesn't look like I can make Isle loaf. What the hell? wonder if I have to be a higher rank to make it. Low, plummeting, coconut juice, honey. Low, increasing to high. Let me put down a growth formula, and then let me see something pairs off of it. Well, I know I have insufficient materials, idiot. I don't even remember how to tell if something pairs off of it, give efficiency bonuses. I pay so little attention to it. Is it same category? It's maybe same category. Options. So those would work. You fucking mind? I'm trying to look at this, idiot. Accessories, woodwork, preserve, food stuff, creature creations, ingredients, sundries, foodstuffs, ingredients, foodstuffs, sundry, ingredients, preserved food, confections, concoctions. Insufficient materials. Thanks, game. I just want to see if it pairs. Yes, it is. Same category. Okay. So I need a concoction. Coconut juice requires sugarcane and coconuts. And that's not really gonna work. I got plenty for potion and plenty for fire sand though. Potion is better today. I'll go with potion then. And I'll growth formula. And potion. I'll just use the potion to replace the Isle Loaf since I don't seem to be able to create Isle Loaf for some reason. Alright, yeah, that's good. Now we'll register this preset. Get rid of yesterday's. There we go. For tomorrow. How do my required materials look? Good, actually. I have everything I need to cover tomorrow already. I still don't have enough Sanctuary Fangs, but I'm not going to get enough either, like I said. So today's basically a bust on those extra Fangs that I needed. What did the potion and the... That would have been the Isle work, but I have plenty of that. I'm a little low on logs and quartz. Alyssum... Let me see what I should send him to do. There's logs. There's wart. So this is actually pretty good for now. Oh, sneeze. Oh, a big sneeze. Is that a double? No, it was Messy Mountain. Oh, that was for the Luco Granite. Yeah. Luca granite for construction though. Let's worry about getting things I need for everything else first. Not the woods. Falls. Stone. Clay. Garnet. Ball. Parsnip. Alwort. Vine. Log. And I'll just leave it at the mountains for now. For now. So I've basically done everything I can on the island, except I can capture some more exotic creatures, that's for sure. And I still have a couple of slots there too. So I could get 2 more creatures, and there are plenty of exotics I still want to hunt that I don't have yet. And the lighthouse. I haven't built the lighthouse. Which, that's what I wanted the leucogranite for, but I don't think I have enough yet. Yeah, I've only got 8. I need a few more days of the granary, or I go out and I get it myself, but I'm not really motivated to do that right now. It would only take me like 10 minutes to do it, but I just don't feel like going out and gathering right now. Everything else is pretty much automated. At this point, I'm basically just trying to use the crime time to get the best output from my workshop as possible, because that gives me, like, the more you ship, the more calories you get, but also the more experience you get. So if I don't want to go out and bore myself to death by, like, running and gathering sand for 20 hours, then I just have to use my workshop to level up. Once I get to 11, I think I should be able to craft about everything. And then 12, I think, has some locked gear behind it. But that should be it. Now it's just sort of like letting this stuff run on automation and checking the overseas casuals stuff each day to see what's best to put in my workshop. I could figure it out myself, but I really don't care enough to do that. Alright. Now that we finished the Sage quests, all the Sage stuff, and I've checked on my island, that's where we'll go ahead and finish it out today. Let me go ahead and close this and head over to Twitch real quick to see who's live and what they're doing. The rest of this week is gonna be Prague, really. The rest of this week is me going into Savage raiding for the first time ever at level and synced with Werewolf and with the other people in the group, you know, provided that still happens. It sounds like everything's going fine, so we shouldn't run into any problems, I don't think. And heading into, I believe, P5S. So that'll be interesting and crazy, and I'm probably gonna die a lot, and other people are probably gonna die a lot too, because I'm a healer, so like, we'll see. Let me see. How are they doing? What are they doing? What are they fucking on? Who's doing Halo stuff? Maybe. Bruce. Really not a ton of people that I follow live today. Let me go ahead and just check again. Reload the page one more time. Yeah, some of this stuff is different. Let's go to... Who have I not rated lately? I'll go over to Cookie. How's he doing? He's been live for about 4 hours already. But it looks like he's still going. Yeah. Let's do that. No, not edit stream info. Raid. We'll go ahead and raid over to Kokahi today. And again, Twitch has been leaving a lot of people behind on raids lately. That's been a problem. So for those who don't get picked up by the raid, that is where I'm going, if you want to follow along. Anyway, like I said, the rest of this week, Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to be starting my stream a little later. Oh yeah, that doesn't matter. I already know there aren't. I'm going to be starting my stream a little later than usual. It's going to be 3 p.m. Pacific instead of 1 p.m. And we're going to be doing Abysso Savage raiding. Or progging. Probably this early on. I don't think we're going to get it done right away. We'll see. See how well the new static works together in actual content. Anyway. I will see you guys later, and I know Werewolf already went to bed, but I guess I'll see him on Saturday in-game. Alright, later everyone.